My little overnight camping trip on Wallow wasn't so bad. The howling winds kept me up, but overall it wasn't terrible. But I have a feeling that a bad night's sleep will be the least of my worries today. Everything started off as casual as it could be. I was woken up by a medical beacon blaring on my computer. The poor soul was close by, so I just had to take it. These medical beacons are few and far between. I never know what to expect when answering these kind of calls. I could be walking into a trap set up by some citizens, or just a bunker full of baddies waiting to add my body to the pile. But being a good citizen could earn me a fat tip, but mostly I'm here for some good karma that I could use for later, hopefully. The first thing I noticed is that this bunker has me labeled as trespassing, and even though I'm here under good intentions, I still have a very high possibility of being shot down, so I have to make sure I park a good distance away and behind a crater just to stay safe. It's a little bit of a hike from my ship to the bunker, but you know what? I could always use the extra steps. It just really makes me look forward to the day when I can either take out these base turrets or drive a little buggy to the front door just to make my life a little bit easier. I could just tell that this was a new citizen to the verse as well. The back door of his ship was left open, and well, I'm also here to bring him back to life, and so that kind of tells me everything that I need to know. I'm not fully kitted out in med runner attire, but I am ready for anything. I have a few med pens for myself and the client, plus a few bullets to my name, so this shouldn't be too bad. Getting the client up was almost fatal for me, but thankfully my reflexes were a little bit better than theirs. Once I jabbed the client, he was slithering around on the ground. I can only assume that this is their natural state because that's all they did until I left. I did some minor looting for extra med pens and some ammo, and then I left the client to do his slithering business. With my first successful medical contract taken care of, I thought it was a good time for a snack break. But it turns out the Audacious had other plans, which was taking itself for a joyride. She finally came to a stop about 20 kilometers away, and so I had no choice but to put a beacon out and just hope for somebody to come pick me up. But for now, I'm stranded in space, slowly floating to my ship and dying of starvation. Pretty soon after I put out the beacon, a colony shows up. My unnamed hero was just floating out, just out of reach. Since I think they're here to save me, I make my way towards them. But then, poof, they're gone. Must have been one of those infamous space mirages. Now I'm just back to square one. Be thankful that this is just a story and you weren't the one floating and starving to death because, oh my god, did floating 20 kilometers take forever. And the downside of me taking my sweet time, I was basically dead by the time I hit the pilot seat, so I had to make a very quick pit stop. Once I landed, I sprinted right to the food court and stuffed myself to get full and happy again. The hot dog saleswoman acted like a man shoveling the 3 hot dogs in their mouth was a totally normal day at the office. But after I filled my belly, I was off yet again to push my luck and make some valuable space bucks. This time I'm responding to a distress call of a space yacht that has been overwhelmed by pirates. Puppy Guard and the 890 were some low lifes with lots of firepower, and for some reason I thought my little ship could take on this mission, but here we go. Once I'm aboard the 890, I'm not greeted by a butler with a margarita in hand, but instead a handful of mercs with an anger problem. With the top deck all cleared out, I give myself a little bit of a makeover. I'm still rocking that free armor, but it does feel good to not have a giant crack in my helmet anymore. Now with the whole ship cleared out, I now have 45k in my pocket, and I figured since nobody is left on board, I could just borrow this beautiful ship without the intent of returning it. With my new high-end ship, I head off for a little bit of a test, just a small bounty target to see what this luxury ship can do. Now, normally I like the rough and minimal aesthetic of Drake or maybe even Crusader ships, but damn, these Origin ships are just too sleek not to like. This little 300i would be a perfect little daily driver, but I'm kind of curious to see how it holds up in a fight. It was a easy-ish fight. I'm just not used to using hard points over gimbals, but I really like the ship. Flies great, and I can actually serve as a good camper. I don't have time to make a whole review right now because this fight isn't quite over. One of the bounty's friends was pretty mad and chased me all the way out to Atmo. I took an absolute beating, and I wasn't ready to part with this booty just yet, so I decided to head down to the surface for a very quick repair at the nearest mining outpost. All the repair costs basically put me back to breaking even at this point. It's still better than getting blown up and sent back to a medbed though. As soon as my scratches got all buffed out, I received another rescue beacon from somebody close by. Our corp is just full of people needing help, and I'm glad I'm here for it. Again, I have to make sure that I park a good distance away just to make sure that those base turns don't end me before I can get to the client. Once I reach the bottom of the bunker, I am greeted with an interesting sight. White suit citizens are just piled up, and you know what? I'm not paid to ask questions just to get results. With the client back on their feet, we made our way through the bunker, clearing the area of baddies, and just making sure nobody had a pulse by the time we left. After that little skirmish, I was super low on ammo, so I took some from these guys on the ground. They weren't going to be needing it anytime soon. With another happy customer and a backpack full of loot, I make my way back to my little home away from home. I guess my stolen home away from home. My next stop was back to the space station. Bajan Point? How do you pronounce it? The day was long and I needed a break. I could have went camping in this little 300i, but I thought maybe the owner of this might want their next of kin to have it, so I decided to park it at the nearest landing pad and just abandon it. One day, I'll get this beauty back. It definitely makes for a better camper and just overall ship than what I currently have right now. Just one final look back at the ship, and it was back to business as usual. Right now, I don't exactly have the credits to rent out a whole entire room at this station, so my next best option was to pay off some warehouse workers to put some cargo crates where I needed them, just to hide this little nap spot of mine. I guess they're free to use it too, but for now, this is what I'll call home for the night. I just want to take a quick second to do some housekeeping by saying thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. You're an absolute legend, and I'm sure you already knew that. If you're new here, please do all the basic YouTube stuff. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. But yeah, if you're free this evening, Saturday, when this video is posted, we will be doing a little Discord hangout. So I hope to see you there. Peace. What are you doing all the way out here? How did you... Did you call me here? Come here, little guy. Let's get you home.